This is Bob Dwyer with the Carbon Monoxide Safety Association. This is the Carbon Monoxide News Summary Report for May 11th through 16th, 2020. These stories and others can be found at www.cosafety.blogspot.com. First one, Saturday fire at assisted living facility sends one to hospital, from the Iowa City Press Citizen. You know, it's a bad story, but it's a good story. It was contained by a sprinkler. That's the good part. The other good part, the staff had already helped the sole occupant of the unit and nearby occupants to safety. Another one from Denver, 9news.com, KUSA, stay home orders allowing scientists to study different sources of pollution. And hopefully we all are examining how we are adding our part to pollution or to correcting pollution. Well, now let's take a look at this next story. Hotel evacuates due to fumes. Rutland Herald. Well, when I see that headline, you know, I've stayed in hundreds of nights in motels and have measured CO in a few of them. Fortunately, never enough to cause evacuations, but always enough to educate. Yeah, I'm that guy, given the opportunity. Well, from Rutland Herald, Fire Chief William Lovett said the pool area measured at 500 parts per million of carbon monoxide, and anything above 10 parts per million, we evacuate the house. Now keep that point in mind. Anything above 10 parts per million, we evacuate the house. I'm going to ask you right now, when does your carbon monoxide alarm go off? So we'll take a closer look at this article, a few more details. That's why it's worth reading them. And then also, if you can find a follow-up. In this case, a hotel evacuates due to fumes, the Rutland Herald. It seems the gasoline-powered power washer was in the building. 500 parts per million of carbon monoxide. Well, they're unsafe to use when in a pit, like down in an empty swimming pool, even if it's outside. You have to keep the engine outside, away from people and all openings. Gasoline-powered tools used indoors, they have dangerous outcomes. The carbon monoxide news stories posted over the years have shown displayed incidences where tradespeople have been injured or hurt due to carbon monoxide exposure. The people that don't get hurt are the ones that are alerted early, the ones that are wearing personal protection. Yes, a painter, yes, an electrician. You know, you may have an all-electric house, and you may be a painter or an electrician, but when you go into other people's homes, you're at their mercy. So who's responsible for the air you breathe, wherever you are? And we can hear that again as we look at the next headline, 5 evaluated after carbon monoxide leak in Marion home, Marion, Iowa, from KGAN-TV. Mid-American Energy determined the cause of the leak was a faulty boiler. Firefighters say there were no working carbon monoxide detectors found in the home. Well, you know, wrong choices, faulty instructions, they can have momentum. So if we're not paying attention to the manufacturer of the heating equipment and have it serviced regularly by licensed and credentialed technicians, if we don't listen to the gas utility company's instructions, if the firefighters instruct us to have smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors in our home, they're doing it for our own good. You know, it's not surprising though. You know, CO news stories, you can find fires where there were no smoke alarms. You can find carbon monoxide incidences where there were no carbon monoxide detectors, or there were carbon monoxide detectors, they didn't work, or they were high-level detectors, and people still got sick. And you know, with all my travels and training and learning sessions I've been involved in, I still find people reluctant to engage in this safety practice. And as we're being alerted to more and more about pollution and the impact on people, this from the Scientific American, the new Alzheimer's air pollution link. Indeed, in some regions of the world, air pollution is so bad that people die of heart disease long before they would ever show symptoms of late onset Alzheimer's. You know, all around the U.S., citizens ignore the warning and people die in fires and properties damaged because of fires. Yet they won't get smoke detectors. And now we're getting a big alert about pollution more and more. It's been there. Heart disease. We take a look at how many people die from various associated respiratory problems associated with pollution. Well, we need to take a look at pollution outdoors. We need to take a look at indoor pollution. Indoor pollution may be harming us more than we think. So who's responsible for the air you breathe when you're indoors? And these stories continue to revolve around hazards associated with breathing in combustion gas. From PennLive.com, gas stoves and fireplaces are potential hazards with more people at home. As a family physician in Harrisburg, I know that indoor air quality can be a serious problem. There are occasional cases of carbon monoxide poisoning in Harrisburg. Well, there's a warning. There's an association with health problems from a physician. Check PennLive.com for that and more stories associated with this issue. And on the carbon monoxide news, we see posted from the Medical Express, low levels of carbon monoxide poisoning can be very difficult to spot and can cause brain damage. Well, I'm going to interject here. Yes, it's difficult to spot, but very easy to measure. But let's see what they say. People who have been poisoned may therefore suffer from neurological or cognitive deficits, psychological effects, and cardiovascular issues. Cruelly, such symptoms may occur weeks after initial poisoning symptoms have abated, and for some people, they will be permanent. Prolonged impact. What also often remains unsaid, but is crucial to consider, is the emotional toll of poisoning. Well, low-level detection. Get it early. That way you can avoid those health issues that may not be diagnosed or measured by your healthcare provider. We're going to take a little step into the test laboratory and do a bag test for carbon monoxide alarms. I'm going to put 100 parts per million of carbon monoxide. Some of you have seen this. We're going to take a look at it again. But I'm talking about safety and an early warning. You can ask any emergency room nurse or physician about people ignoring the suggestions to wear helmets and protective gear when they're biking, cycling, or rolling along. Many people don't take care of their heart or lungs, and healthcare providers offer suggestions, but until there's a wake-up alert call and we have to take care of ourselves, then perhaps we start paying more attention. Well, let's take a look at low-level carbon monoxide protection, and we'll do a simple little test. Well, this is a bag test for carbon monoxide alarms. I'm going to be using a 100 ppm canister in this particular case. I've put my detectors inside this plastic bag. I've got it sealed up. I've done my best to flatten it out. I'm going to put some gas, seal the bag tight as I'm putting in gas, and we'll put some in. Okay. Now, because of the light reflection on the bag, it may be a little difficult to see some of the responses, so I'm going to be moving it around if we can help. If that will help see it, show it. Here the low-level TPI model is responding, showing us there's carbon monoxide in place. Of course, we don't have a digital display on the two closest to the bottom there. The TPI model's already let us know that there's an issue with carbon monoxide. This unit over here by my thumb, it's telling us what the temperature is inside the bag. This model back here is, again, looks like it's just showing 0, but we've been alerted in a very short order that there's a carbon monoxide issue in our building. We should address it. We should know what our sources may be. Low-level detection. Low-level carbon monoxide detection is the best protection. In this summary, our bodies need and breathe in oxygen from air. Oxygen attaches to hemoglobin binding sites in our blood, delivers oxygen to every cell in our body, and carbon dioxide is the waste gas we exhale or breathe out. Inhaled carbon monoxide has a stronger affinity to the hemoglobin binding sites than oxygen. Oxygen is displaced and now known as a free radical. Carbon monoxide attached to the hemoglobin is referenced by percent as carboxyhemoglobin. So measurement is important. And you may also be in an environment where you have a combustion system that's producing low levels of carbon monoxide, and it's getting into the air you are breathing. That's going to impact your health. But you also have to understand that that combustion system is producing a tremendous amount of carbon dioxide that you also will be breathing in. Measurement is vital. Well, not everybody's going to jump right out and get a low-level carbon monoxide detector, but please recognize the symptoms of carbon monoxide exposure. And they can include symptoms that mimic or have similarity to many other conditions. And you can pick a symptom like food poisoning, flu, headache, nausea, tiredness, depression, weakness, disorientation, seizures, complicated angina, blurry vision, rapid heartbeat, signs of Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, or Alzheimer's. And those are just a few. Poisoning from carbon monoxide can go undetected, though a person might be experiencing symptoms every day. We wouldn't be the Carbon Monoxide Safety Association if we didn't try to continue to educate people about this information. So ask your medical physician or practitioner to test you for carbon monoxide if you think you may have been exposed or experiencing any of the symptoms of CO poisoning. You have to ask them. They may not just all of a sudden say, let's test you for carbon monoxide, because it may not have been in their schooling to readily ask that question and to test a patient like you. Well, we look to our healthcare providers for advice. But some questions we have, like, why am I breathing combustion gas? Or how much is too much? We might be talking about pollution, indoor pollution. We might be talking about outdoor pollution. Can too high of a concentration make me tired or even unhealthy? The answer is yes. Don't forget, get a low-level carbon monoxide alarm to protect yourselves and your families from CO poisoning. Get that early warning. Pay attention to your healthcare providers. This is Bob Dwyer with the Carbon Monoxide Safety Association. Thank you. This is the summary for carbon monoxide news posted at www.cosafety.blogspot.com, and let's be safe.